What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the Ferrari 308 project. Today we'll continue where we left off on this one. We're trying to get this through an MOT here in the UK so I can register it and drive it on the public roads. Now, we struggled in the last video trying to get the car started again. It was started a few months ago, but the car has sat around ever since then. So we're going to focus getting it started. We're going to button up some of those little jobs that we left off, and then we're going to start some of the new ones. We've got a long list of stuff before this car is ready to go through an MOT. So let's crack on with some work. Priority number one today is to get this lovely 3-litre V8 Ferrari lump back up and running. Now, as with any project, before you can do a job at hand, there's normally 3 or 4 jobs that stop you doing that. This is no exception. If you remember on the previous video, we had smoke coming out from the engine when it was started, and that is because we have no gasket here on the rocker cover for this front bank. We're going to fix that. I've got new ones to put on there, but before again I can do that, I want to take off this old black paint on the cover and get it back to factory. Guys, I always read and enjoy all the comments and suggestions you leave below my videos, so please keep those coming. The latest one that everyone wants to know about on this Ferrari 308 project is how much did it cost? Now, through the power of YouTube and the internet, something pretty amazing happened, and I will reveal all of that regarding the costs on this car later in the video. I need to crack on with some work first. Let's get some jobs done on it, and I will tell you a pretty cool story about the history on this car. Here's a good one. We are trying to take the cam cover off here, so we need to remove the spark plugs, which is always a problem because there's no space here. Got those 3 out. This one's just about to come out, but put my finger in here and look at that. It's full to the brim with oil. So cleanup operation when this is removed. Okay, so we're ready to get the rocker cover off now. It's always a bit of a struggle. We'll just do it very slowly. There we go. And then got this cable in the way that I'm not going to take off. So let's just move it around. Sorry about the train. Okay, we have one rocker cover off the car. So let's go and clean that up. Next, I want to remove all this old black paint off the cam cover and take it back to a factory finish. The factory finish should look something like this. Here's my grey car. It's a bit cleaner. I've had a bit of a clean up on this one. But if you look at the covers on that one, they are just bare metal, and that is the plan for the QV. My first plan of attack is to try a heat gun. Just going to apply a little bit of heat and just see if we can get that paint to flake off. Now, I don't want to use anything sharp like this scraper to just peel off the paint because it's going to scratch the surface, and I need to, hopefully it's good underneath that paint. So we want to need to preserve that. So I'm just going to use the edge of this little plastic bit here. I'm going to just use that edge, and hopefully that will just peel off the paint with a bit of heat. So the heat gun didn't really do much, done a little bit, but it's taken way too long. Cracking out this instead. That's almost done. I've got a couple of little bits in the corners to get out, and then I'm going to give it a clean in the sink, get my dirty fingerprints off it, and then it's ready to go back in the car. So the cam cover is now all stripped back and done. I've just finished removing all the old gasket from the cylinder head. We're ready to put a fresh new one in place and refit that cover. Just checking the new gasket for fitment, and then we're ready to reinstall that cover. And there you go, that's on. Just need to put all the nuts on. There's the old one, looking a bit tatty. There's our new one. Already the engine is starting to look a bit cleaner. I do have some shiny new dome nuts that I will refit on here, but I forgot to bring them today, so we'll just use the old ones for now. So we're nearly done now. I've got it all buttoned up, got the cap on, I've got the plugs in. We're just doing the plug leads, so while I'm at it, I'm installing some fresh new plug extenders. Okay, we're starting to get a bit of progress now. What's the mileage on this car, Josh? 38,000, only 38,000 miles on Ferrari 308. That actually is quite average on a 308. It's probably on the higher side, to be fair. 1983 car, so what's that? 36 years old and only 38,000. So just over 1,000 miles every year it's been on the road. Not bad. Okay guys, sorry about this. It's a nightmare trying to film here. I've got planes above, I've got trains behind, I've got automobiles over there. So we are all ready to go here. The cam cover's on, everything is buttoned up. The next biggie is we need to try and get this car running again. So let's jump on it. So, moment of truth. Let's see if this starts. So far so good. So I'm going to let it warm up a little bit, but it doesn't sound like it's running on all 8 cylinders. It might be I've left the lead off or something like that, so we'll check that. But I'm going to let it warm up a little bit, circulate some fuel around the car. Okay, so I've had a quick look around. I've found this lead off this front coil pack here. Obviously where I've been taking off the HT leads, this distributor cap, I might have just disturbed the cable. So I'm going to put it back on, cross the fingers, and hopefully that will fix the problem. 308, back running again. Sounds pretty good. Happy days. So it's a lovely day here in the UK. Sun's out. My nephew Josh, say hi Josh.
Hi.
He's helping me with some filming. We're doing some nice B-roll shots just for you guys so you can enjoy the beauty of the 355 in the sun. Josh is helping me out. Josh is going to set up his own YouTube channel. He's 16, he's almost 17, he almost gets his driving license. You have to be 17 here in the UK to be able to get your driving license. He's going to be setting up his YouTube channel soon, and he's going to be doing all about the trials and tribulations of being a 16-year-old. Wanting a car like this. What's your favourite car?
Lambo.
He wants a Lamborghini. He's going to have some harsh reality that it's impossible to have a Lamborghini as your first car, unless you're a billionaire, which, are you a billionaire? You've been stashing that cash? I think he's been stashing some cash. Anyway, he's going to be setting up his channel. It's going to be really cool. And I'm going to be teaching him to drive probably in something like this. So, I'm the coolest uncle in the world. Anyway, when his channel's up and running, I'll put it in the description on the next videos. Like many of us, Josh's car addiction started at an early age. And in part, that's probably my fault. Look how cute he is here. We've even got matching clothes on. Josh is up here now. After a few years, the tables have turned height-wise. Now, like any nephew, he's highly unlikely to listen to his uncle. So, I've enlisted a couple of my YouTube friends who have done pretty well out of their car-related channels with some friendly advice.
It's cracking, Josh. I'm coming to you from your Uncle Scott's phone, and he told me that you're now beginning to drive, which means you need to grab the keys to the working Ferrari in his fleet. You know, he's got multiple Ferraris, what, 3, 4, maybe 5 Ferraris, and that's obviously because Ferraris are so unreliable, you need multiple ones if you're going to daily drive one, like your Uncle Scott. But make sure you get the keys to the working one, take it out, and do some video while you're out and about. Tell your peers what it's like to drive a Ferrari, especially at the age of 16. Not a lot of people have access to that. So that would be a great YouTube video. Maybe it could help you start a channel. And one day, you never know what it could turn into. I mean, you could be like your Uncle Scott working on Ferraris, or you could go and get a car that has a pizza warming oven in it, or then you could bug your Uncle Scott like I've been doing, figuring out how to work on my very own Ferrari. So it was nice chatting with you, Josh. Make sure you have some good barbecue today and drive safe. Talk to you soon.
Hey, Josh and James. Matt Farah here from TheSmokingTire, hanging out with your uncle. He's got some cool cars here. I think you should appreciate these cars because they're awesome. I have made a whole life on cars, so if someone tells you you have to get a real job, they're lying. You can do this for a living. I hope you watch my show, and if you've watched it, I hope you enjoy it. Thanks.
Cheers.
I'm gonna go back to America now.
Yeah.
I think you
Yeah.
should say.
So I just did this a minute ago. I got Josh in the car. This is a little thank you for his ears, yeah, for doing the filming. We're gonna go through the tunnel. Last time I just did this, there was a copper on the other side, a policeman on the other side. So he didn't have a happy face when he saw me do this. Anyway, let's try it again. What do you think? I mean, a smile says it all.
Yeah.
Okay, so my other issue is I'm trying to get the steering wheel off, and for the life of me I cannot remove this nut. I've got it quite far, but it will not budge any further. So I haven't actually got the castle socket to get on this. I'm trying other methods, but I'm wrecking it. I'm going to get a new nut anyway. I hate this type of nut, so I'll be getting just a standard nut on there. But I'm just trying to get this off so we can look at the electrics. As I said earlier in the video, every job, there is 3 other jobs before you actually can do something that should normally be very simple. Okay, so one of the other annoying things is we have an old key stuck in here which stops me from shutting this fuel cap. So I've got a bit of glue. We're taking a bit of glue. I'm going to try and glue this onto the old key and see if we can get it to come out. Tweezers. Tweezers do not fit either. Plan D. Okay, I've given up on the idea of trying to get it out with the key there. I'm going to take the lock out, take it all apart, and do it on my workbench, aka my kitchen table. Okay, that's one lock out, so I shall take that home with me and see what I can use to get that key out of there. Simple fix. We did fix the other lock, but it was a bit sticky still, so my nephew's idea is to change the lock from this side to that side, which we've done, and now I'm not going to get caught short at petrol stations. Okay, this might not be the best idea, but if we can get it running, I'm going to try and move it forward a little bit. We haven't quite tested the brakes since we bled them, so wish me luck. There might be 2 smashed Ferrari 308s here. Okay, we're going to turn this car around. Let's see if it'll start again. Okay, we're all good. Another requirement of the MOT test is a working handbrake. As you can see from this, the travel is ridiculous. It's all the way to the top and it actually has no functionality at all with a handbrake. So we are going to check to see what's going on with this. Cables run through here to the back and then onto the calipers at the rear wheels. So can't see anything obvious here. Let's have a look at the back. So we've removed the rear wheel from the car, and the problem is very obvious. I should have spotted this last week when I was doing the brakes, but I wasn't looking out for it. Anyway, as you can see, this is the attachment on the caliper where the cable should come to. There is no cable on this car, so we need to order one of those up, get it fitted, get it adjusted before this car's going to go through any kind of test. So guys, I'm going to wrap up the 308 project today. We are slowly getting through those long list of jobs, ready to get this car through phase 1, which is having it registered here in the UK on the road. Let's have a quick look and see the progress so far. Now, as promised, I will leave you with the grand finale, which is a bedtime story all about this Ferrari 308, which some of you are probably going to think is a bit of a fairy tale when I tell you exactly how much this car sold for in 2017. So the story all begins with a lovely guy called Robert who owns a Ferrari 360, was watching one of my videos with the step-by-step cam timing belt change on the 360 series, and YouTube kindly at the end of it recommended another of my videos on this 308. Robert recognised the car, got in contact with me, and sure enough, when I checked, the title was still in his name. So it used to be Robert's car. Now this is where the power of YouTube and the internet is just fantastic. I didn't really know much history on the car when I bought it. So being able to speak to Robert and him giving me a bit of the backstory on it, what he's done on it, is just fantastic. It's like gold dust to me. So here goes. Robert bought the car about 12 years ago from a chap in Florida. The car had been sat outside for many, many years there, and hence it was really quite rusty underneath. You know, it had a lot of problems. He paid $13,000 for the car back then. He kept the car in Michigan where he lives, co-owned it with his dad, and in the following 10-year period, he sunk a whopping $20,000 into the car to try and get it all working again. Had various problems constantly throughout, and so eventually in 2017, sold the car, get this, for $7,500. Unbelievable. To a Ferrari dealer, or the main Ferrari dealer in Michigan. So those guys must have had a look at this car. They couldn't fix it, so if I can fix it, I'll be pretty happy about that one. Anyway, Ferrari Michigan must have then sold the car onto the car dealer in Beverly Hills, Los Angeles, who I bought it from, and I can tell you this, I paid a heck of a lot more than $7,500 for that car. I paid in the high 20s for it, and by the time I've shipped it back over here to London with all the shipping costs and the taxes and stuff like that, it is about equivalent in pounds as it is in dollars, which I still consider to be quite a bargain. I haven't spent a lot of money on the car at the moment, so I'm still happy with it, and at the end of the day, it brings a smile on my face working on it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the story. Smash that like button for me. Do me a big favour, subscribe if you're not already on the channel. Tell your friends, family, dogs and cats to subscribe too, and I will really appreciate that one. And before we go, guys, one final request. I want your opinion on an idea. Would you like me to do a regular video on finding bargain cars from around the world? So I like to pride myself that I can find some good stuff. So the Ratarossa was bottom of the barrel, but we've had a lot of fun with that. We had the 308, we got the 456. I've done lots of Ferraris before that. I buy them from all around the world. The last lot came from America. I bought them from Europe. This day and age, it's very simple to ship stuff around. So I want this to be kind of international, anywhere around the world. Bargain cars. I will put them in a regular update, but I want your help really. Obviously, we all can't buy all the nice cars we see. So if you find anything you think is very interesting, Ferraris, supercars, anything cool, ping it over to this email address, bargains@ratarossa.com. I'll put all those together. Nothing to do with me. We'll share them, see what's out there, and have some fun doing that. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I will see you again shortly in the next one. Ciao for now.